I decided to read you this book. It's called Beyond the Pond, Into Perspective. The third grade class entered the art room giggling as they walked in. They remembered last week when they wrote a story about their art teacher from a black lagoon. The art teacher, Miss Solivia Dream, promised to write a story about them, but they'd forgotten that promise as they happily reminisced about their story. They waited patiently for Miss Dream to enter the room, as oftentimes she was behind schedule due to working in different buildings. So when she walked in, they really didn't pay much attention. As she walked in, they heard squishing sound of wet shoes, and when they looked up, they saw Miss Dream standing in front of them, covered with the worst-smelling slimy mud they had ever seen. The mud not only covered her, it left a trail from the door to the classroom. She took her fingers and swept the mud off her glasses so she could see and said, "Good morning, class. Are you ready for the most exciting art class of your life?" The class stared blankly at the teacher. They were speechless and mighty scared, so they answered with silence. She said again, "Good morning, class. Are you ready for the most exciting art class of your life?" Still, they said nothing and sat there with their eyes and mouths wide open. The class did not notice that the worst-smelling slimy mud had completely covered the floor, and with one swing of her arm, the teacher reached to the floor, scooped up the mud, including all of the students. The class was so surprised they didn't utter one sound until the teacher threw them over her shoulder and carried him out the door, and then they were still speechless. She walked right by the principal's office, waved, and said hi. The principal was so busy, she didn't even notice that Miss Solivia Dream was carrying the entire class. Miss Dream carried the class to the edge of town, set the class down, and said, "Okay, everyone jump into the pond." Abby spoke up and said, "There's no pond to jump into. Not in this town." "There is today," announced Miss Dream, "so let's go." And with that, the teacher jumped into the air, which lifted the entire class into the air, and suddenly a pond appeared below them. Into the pond they went, and suddenly every student was swimming in the worst smelly, slimy mud they have ever seen. And they were having fun. How could they? They tried to figure out how it could be so much fun and gross at the same time. "So where are we going?" said Thule. "Oh, many, many places," said Miss Dream. "I don't care where we go. I just love swimming in the pond," said Jessie. "I just love to swim the pond, and I love to get muddy." "Keep swimming, class. We are just about there. Soon we will come to a place where we begin our journey." "Hey, I'm not tired. We've been swimming a long time, and I'm not ready to rest. This is amazing. How can this be?" asked Andy. "We will find the answer to that question later. Here we are, everyone. Crawl up there." "What is this? At first I thought it was a beach, but now I don't know for sure. It doesn't look or feel like anything I've ever touched," said Emma. "We are at Creative Self. That is where we create to our heart's content. Great ideas and dreams live here, and in all of us. This can be a very scary place, as we are very sensitive about this side of ourselves. Many of us want to hide this part from everyone else. When we are here, we feel like we are different from everyone. We don't really want to be different from everyone. We want to fit in, be part of the crowd, so we only visit here when we feel safe, usually by ourselves." "I don't understand," said Polly. "Have you ever been by yourself listening to your favorite song?" said Miss Dream. "You are singing and dancing and having a great time when someone walks into the room and sees you. Do you get angry? Do you feel spied on? Do you slam the door shut and lock everyone out?" asked Miss Dream. "Oh, I get very, very mad," replied Polly. "I scream at them and slam the door." "The reason you're mad is because someone caught you being creative. Each of us has unique talents, but we want to keep that side of us secret because we're afraid that those talents make us different. So usually when we visit Creative Self, we're very safe and we're usually alone. But today we're going to spend time at Creative Self together to become more comfortable with sharing our creative self with others. Today we are all here together to dream, draw, and design. We passed some books on our way to this point, and now they're washing on the shore behind you. They are very important tools for us to create. In those books, are tools and inspiration for all of us. Oh, come on, replied Noah. There's history books in there. There's no inspiration in a history book, just a nap waiting to happen. Really, replied Miss Dream. Open one and read how many people had to overcome struggles to be successful. You should read about Abraham Lincoln and find out how many times he lost elections before he won. Read about Martin Luther King and his dream. Read about Michelangelo and learn about the struggles of his life. Just pick someone in history and discover how hard he or she worked, how they did not give up. They changed our world. We can learn from them, learn to make it through struggles, keep living our dreams, and we too can change the world. Reading is a very, very important tool. It gives us inspiration and provides knowledge in areas we're not skilled yet. Okay, I get the history part, but I absolutely hate math. Math cannot be important here at Creative Self, added Thule. Thule, what if your creative self designs buildings, new buildings, green, environmentally sound buildings? You'll need to measure, calculate the measurement with your designs, combine the design with measurement, and create the building. What if a math equation can be used to make your design real? You can use the math that's already in that book, or you can create the same math over again by building and correcting errors over and over again. Both methods are correct, so the choice is yours. Math is a tool, just like the pencil you draw with. So if you design buildings, you may also want to grab a geometry book to add to your tools. It can provide information for the study of shapes. Boys and girls, all of these textbooks are tools. Learn about each area to make creative dreams into reality. From the information these books give you, you can change today's practices into tomorrow's. How do you think electricity was discovered? Cars, computers, cell phones. Now let's get back to where we're standing. You're right, Emma. This is not sand, it's paper. Today in art class at Creative Self, we are drawing. Our most important lesson is we can go anywhere on a piece of paper. All it takes is imagination and creativity. Jessie, look over there at the edge of the pond. I think there are some pencils. Give everyone a pencil, please. Oh, and don't forget to get your own piece of paper. You only have to reach out to a blank area that surrounds you, touch it, and the size of paper that is perfect for you will appear in front of you. Let's begin.